to reverse warrior. So right hand, right thigh, left arm draws up and back. Take one more inhale here. One more exhale. Then on the next inhale, coming into extended side angle. So left elbow, left knee, right arm draws forward. On the next inhale, maybe you reach that left arm down, taking this posture a little bit deeper. Exhale, hold. Inhale, come back to reverse warrior, fill up those lungs. Exhale, hands to the mat. Stepping back to plank, move through our chaturanga, lower down. Inhale, cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale, push back, downward facing dog. Take a few moments here, pedal out those feet. Move the hips side to side. Take one full inhale together. One full exhale. Step hop or walk to the front of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift, nice flat back. Exhale, fold, release. Bend your knees, sink your hips, come back to chair pose. Exhale, draw those hands to heart center. Take an inhale here. Then exhale, take that left elbow to your right knee. So coming into a twist. Inhale, press the palms of the hands together. Exhale, can you twist to the right a little bit more? Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, right elbow, left knee. Inhale, press the palms of the hands together. Exhale, can you twist to the left a little bit more? Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, forward fold, release all the way down. Inhale, halfway lift, nice flat back. Exhale, plant your hands, step back to plank. Move through our chaturanga, lower down. Inhale, cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale, push back, downward facing dog. Take a couple breaths here, pedal out those feet. Move your hips side to side. Take one full inhale together. One full exhale. Inhale, float that right leg high to the sky. Then step your right leg through your hands. Releasing your back left heel. Inhale to warrior one. Exhale, let that body settle. Very nice. Inhale, reach your hands up. Exhale, open up, warrior two. Very nice. Inhale, coming into reverse warrior. Exhale, hold here. On the next inhale, coming into extended side angle. So either right elbow, right knee, or right arm draws down as that left arm draws forward. Exhale, hold. Inhale, come back to reverse warrior, fill up those lungs. Exhale, hands to the mat, step back to plank. Move through our chaturanga, lower down. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra. Exhale, push back, downward facing dog. Take a couple breaths here, pedal out those feet. Move those hips side to side. Take one full inhale together. One full exhale. Then inhale, float that left leg high to the sky. Then step your left leg through your hands. Releasing your back right heel. Inhale to warrior one. Exhale, let that body settle. Then inhale, reach your hands up. Exhale, open up, warrior two. Very nice. Inhale, coming into reverse warrior, right hand, right thigh, left arm draws up and back. Exhale, hold. On the next inhale, coming into extended side angle. So left elbow, left knee, or left arm reaches down as that right arm draws forward. Exhale, hold. Inhale, come back to reverse warrior, fill up the lungs. Exhale, hands to the mat. Step back to plank. Move through our chaturanga, lower down. Inhale, cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale, push back, downward facing dog. Take a couple breaths here, pedal out those feet. Move those hips side to side. Take one full inhale together. One full exhale. Step, hop, or walk to the front of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift, nice flat back. Exhale, fold, release. Bend your knees, sink your hips, coming into chair pose. Exhale, draw our hands to heart center. Take an inhale here and exhale to the left side, just for an exhale. Then inhale, come back to center. Then exhale, take that right elbow to the left knee. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, forward fold, release all the way down. Inhale, halfway lift, nice flat back. Exhale, plant your hands, step back to plank. Move through our chaturanga, lower down. Inhale, cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale, push back, downward facing dog. Take a few moments, pedal out those feet. Move those hips side to side. Take one full inhale together. One full exhale. Then inhale, float that right leg high to the sky. Then step your right leg through your hands. Releasing your back left heel. Inhale to warrior one. Exhale, let that body settle. Then on the next inhale, reach your hands up. Exhale, open up to warrior two. Maybe you walk that heel in a little bit to match the instep of that left foot. On the next inhale, so we're going to come up onto those toes. So can you come up onto those right toes and challenge yourself in warrior two. Then from here, let's come into reverse warrior. So staying on those toes if you can, release if you need to. Exhale, hold. Then on the next inhale, coming into extended side angle. So right elbow, right knee as that left arm draws forward, or maybe you reach that right arm down. Exhale, hold, that calf's probably on fire. Inhale, back to reverse warrior, fill up the lungs. Release that heel. Exhale, hands to the mat. Step back to plank. Move through our chaturanga, lower down. Inhale, cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale, push back, downward facing dog. Very nice. Take a few moments here, pedal out those feet. Move those hips side to side. Taking one full inhale together. One full exhale. Inhale, float that left leg high to the sky. Then step your left leg through your hands. Releasing your back right heel. Inhale to warrior one. Exhale, let that body settle. Very nice. Inhale, reach your hands up. Exhale, open up warrior two. And maybe you walk that left heel in a little bit to match the instep of that right foot. Option to come onto those left toes. Exhale, hold. Then on the next inhale, coming into reverse warrior. So right hand, right thigh, left arm draws up and back. Exhale, hold. On the next inhale, coming into extended side angle. So maybe left elbow, left knee, or left arm draws down as that right arm draws forward. Exhale, hold. Inhale, come back to reverse warrior. Fill up those lungs. Releasing that heel. Exhale, hands to the mat. Step back to plank. Move through our chaturanga, lower down. Inhale, cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale, push back to your downward facing dog. And take a few moments here to pedal out the feet. Move your hips side to side. Maybe you bend both knees. Then you reestablish your downward facing dog. Then on the next inhale, we're going to come into plank and move into side plank. So option to just rotate onto that left hand as you float that right hand up, keeping both feet. Option to always take that left knee down onto the mat for support. Or if you want to even take it a little bit further, you could always try and float that right foot. So keeping those hips up, keep pushing into the mat. Take one more inhale, one more exhale. Then on the next inhale, come back to plank. And then exhale, push back downward facing dog. So take a few moments here to pedal out those feet. Move your hips side to side. Eventually finding stillness for one full inhale, one full exhale. Then on the next inhale, come back to plank. And then press into that right hand as you rotate the feet to the right, floating that left hand up. The option to always take that right knee down onto the mat, or maybe you take it a little bit further and send that left leg up. Take one full inhale, one full exhale. Then on the next inhale, press, coming back to plank pose. Exhale, push back to downward facing dog. Take a couple breaths here to pedal out the feet. Move your hips side to side. Take one full inhale together. One full exhale. Then inhale, float that right leg high to the sky. Then coming into pigeon pose, so bring that right knee to your right wrist, your right ankle to your left. Release those left toes. Inhale, walk your hands up to set the hips. Then exhale, walk your hands out, coming into reclined pigeon. Allowing that right hip to settle. Removing any tension from that left leg. And taking a few moments here to check in with yourself. Notice how you're feeling. Notice how your body's feeling. Take a deep inhale here. Exhale, can you walk those hands out a little bit further, challenging your edge. We'll take 2 more breaths here. Exhale it all out. Take one more inhale. One more exhale. Then on the next inhale, slowly begin to walk those hands up. Planting those hands, curling those toes. Sending that right leg back up to your 3-legged dog, giving it a little bit of a shake. Then release those right toes down. Inhale, float that left leg high to the sky. Then draw your left knee to your left wrist, left ankle to your right. Release the right toes. Inhale, walk the hands up to set the hips. Then exhale, walk those hands out, coming into reclined pigeon. Allowing your left hip to settle. Taking tension out of that right leg. Take a few moments to notice how this side feels. Take a deep inhale here. Exhale, can you walk those hands out, challenging your edge. 2 more breaths here. Nice deep inhale. And exhale. Take 1 more inhale. 1 more exhale. Then slowly begin to walk those hands up. Planting the hands, curling the toes. Sending your left leg back to your 3-legged dog. Giving that a little bit of a shake. Then releasing those left toes down onto the mat. And then coming into wide knee child's pose. So draw those knees as wide as the mat as you release them down. Draw your big toes together. And then send those hips back. Allowing your shoulders to soften. Allowing gravity to draw those hips closer to your feet. Take a few more breaths here, allowing that body to settle. Maybe allowing those hips to release a little bit more. Take 1 more inhale. 1 more exhale. Then on the next inhale, slowly begin to walk those hands up. Drawing your knees together. Then kicking your feet to one side or another and coming into a seated position. So if you have a block handy, to have a block, so I'm going to add a challenge to our boat pose today. If not, you can use a towel or a cushion. So we're going to take the block and we're going to place it in between our feet. We're going to draw our shoulders back and down. And take a full inhale together. And a full exhale. Then on the next inhale, we're going to float our feet up with a block in between. And then float our hands. Take a deep inhale. And a deep exhale. Can you draw those shoulders down and back? Keep your breath. Keep your focus. Maybe you draw a smile to your face. On the next inhale, draw the hands together. Then exhale to the right. Inhale back to center. Exhale to the left. Inhale back to center. Exhale to the right. Inhale back to center. Exhale to the left. Very nice. Almost. Inhale back to center. Reach those hands up. Can you straighten the legs? Then exhale, release. Grab your knees, tuck your chin, roll your spine. Very nice. Take a deep inhale here. And a deep exhale. Then bring your hands behind your spine and then open up those knees to windshield wiper them. So open them to the right, then to the left. One more time to the right. One more time to the left. Then having those feet out in front of us, we'll come into a nice forward fold just for a couple breaths. So keeping the toes pointed up. Inhale, reach your hands up. Then exhale, reach and fold. Inhale, draw up that chest a little bit. And then exhale, can you walk your fingertips out a little bit further? Option to always have a slight bend in the knees if it's a little bit too intense on those hamstrings. Take a couple more breaths, a nice deep inhale. And exhale. Take one more inhale. One more exhale. Then slowly begin to walk those hands up. Then planting your feet and lowering all the way down onto our backs. And making sure that we have that block handy. We'll come into a nice supported bridge. So draw those heels as close to your glutes as possible. Take a full inhale together. And a full exhale. And then on the next inhale, shift those hips up and slide that block underneath your tailbone. And adjusting it. So whether you draw it up a little bit higher or a little bit lower. And then when you find that spot, let those hips release into that block. Allow your palms to face up. Softening your shoulders. Softening your neck. Letting your body find rest. Letting your mind find peace. And taking note of any thoughts that might be arising. Just gently acknowledging them. Letting them continue to float by. Drawing your attention back to your breath. Back to your inhales. And your exhales. Take one more inhale here. One more exhale. Then on the next inhale, slowly shift those hips up, sliding that block from underneath, and then slowly lowering those hips down onto the mat. Take a deep inhale and a deep exhale, letting that spine settle. And then drawing the soles of your feet together and coming into reclined butterfly. So either drawing those heels closer to your glutes or you draw them further away. And the option as well to take that block and slide it under your glutes to just add a little bit of height. Sometimes it just allows those hips to open up a little bit more. But if you just want to lay down on the mat, that's completely fine as well. Then taking your right hand onto your abdomen and your left hand onto your heart. Just noticing the rise and fall of your chest and abdomen with every inhale and exhale. And with every exhale, can you allow those hips maybe to open up a little bit more? Allow gravity to draw the knees a little bit closer to the mat. Take one more inhale. One more exhale. Then on the next inhale, draw those hands underneath the knees, gently helping them up. If you have that block, shift those hips and slide the block from underneath. And then take a deep inhale here. And a deep exhale. So the next option, so you can either come into plow pose or you can come into waterfall. So if you're gonna do plow pose, draw the knees in and then release them behind your head, keeping your neck nice and straight. And if you're coming into waterfall, shift those hips up, slide that block underneath those hips and let the feet rest. Sorry, let your feet point up to the sky. And if you're in plow pose, just keeping your breath. Breathing into any sensations that you might be feeling. Try and allow your breath to soften those areas. We'll take a couple more breaths here. Take one more inhale. One more exhale. And then if you're in plow, slowly begin to roll out vertebrae by vertebrae. And if you're in waterfall pose, gently shift those hips up, sliding that block out from underneath, and then drawing those knees into your chest, giving them a nice big squeeze, gently rocking a little bit of side to side, a little bit of forward and backwards. Circle your knees in one direction. Circle your knees in the opposite direction. Then open your arms up into a T and let those knees gently fall to the right side, coming into a twist. Keeping your left shoulder blade pressed into the mat. Adjusting the knees, whether you draw them closer or you soften that knee bend. The option to take that block underneath your knees for some support. Or maybe the option also is to take them in between your knees as well. That sometimes feels comfortable. Breathing into any sensations. Letting your body find rest. Take one more inhale here. One more exhale. Then slowly draw those knees back up to center. And gently let your knees fall to the left side, keeping your right shoulder blade pressed into the mat. Adjusting your knees, whether you draw them closer to your chest or you soften that knee bend. Options, take a block underneath the knees or maybe between the knees. Breathing into any sensations. Letting your body find rest. Take one more inhale. One more exhale. And on the next inhale, slowly draw those knees back up to center. Opening up to happy baby, grabbing the outside of those feet, opening the knees nice and wide. Gently rocking a little bit of forward and backwards. A little bit of side to side. Then take a deep inhale together. And exhale, open up to Shavasana. Legs as wide as the mat. Palms to face up. Letting your body melt into the mat. Taking this opportunity to let go. Letting your body find rest after your practice. Breathing into any areas that might be a little bit tense. Allowing those areas to soften with your breath. Letting your body fully relax. Surrendering to this posture. Notice if your mind may have wandered or drifted or gotten distracted. Just letting that go. Coming back to your breath. Back to your inhales. And your exhales. And as your body finds rest, letting all the benefits of your practice, the goodness from all the postures, let it sink deep into your mind and into your body. On the next inhale, slowly begin to wiggle your fingers. Gently moving your toes. Slowly waking up your body. Drawing your attention back to the room. On the next inhale, slowly reaching your arms up and overhead. And grabbing one wrist and gently pulling it to one side of the room, feeling the stretch in that side body. Then release that wrist. Grab the other wrist and gently pull it to the opposite side. And release that wrist. Reach your hands to the very back of the room and your feet to the very front. On the next inhale, take a full body stretch. Exhale, let it all go. Then slowly drawing that right knee into your chest. Giving it a nice big hug. Gently adding some movement back. Then release your right leg, draw in that left knee. Giving it a nice big hug. Gently adding some movement back. Then draw that right knee back into your chest. Give them both a big squeeze. Gently rocking a little bit of side to side. A little bit of forward and backwards. Circling your knees in one direction. Circling your knees in the opposite direction. Then let your knees sway from the right to the left. Gently letting them fall to the right side or to the left side, coming into fetal position. Letting your head cradle into your arm. Offering breaths of gratitude. Grateful for your practice this morning, that you showed up on your mats. Grateful to our bodies. Take a few moments to reflect on the intention you set at the beginning of practice. Take a deep inhale and a deep exhale. Then on the next inhale, slowly begin to press your way up to a seated position. Keeping those eyes closed and drawing those hands to heart center. Take a deep inhale together. And a deep exhale. Then on the next inhale, draw a gentle smile to your face. Exhale it all out. Take a few moments to thank your body for all the hard work it did today. I thank you and I'm very humbled by your practice. Namaste. Great job, guys.
That was good, Mark. Thanks.
No worries.
We sweat.
Good flow.
Yeah. How did you guys like going on the toe? Did you
Yeah, that sounds good.
Not sure.
Yeah, that was,
That was a nice
it was
challenge.
awesome to have something new to challenge.
How was the boat with the block?
Loved it.
Yeah.
Loved it.
Good.
And I've never,
We're gonna keep building on that. So I have a couple like other things that we'll do with the block between our legs. So
Yeah, no, that was excellent.
good.
the side plank was lifting the leg. Have we ever done that before?
No, I don't think so, Josh.
Before, but there's more options too, right? So you
I
can
got
do
one.
like so here you can float and then you can
Yeah.
open up. So like you open up this way and then you reach that arm behind.
Oh, wow.
Or you can also take your hand to that back leg and open
Oh,
it
no.
up.
The second one looked like a horizontal tree.
It's almost like so it's almost like dancer pose. But
Yeah.
you're in plank pose.
Okay, no, but the one that you put your
It's
your
the
leg- it looked
Bielman
like-
spin.
it looked like a tree that you were sideways.
Yeah, the one-legged tree. Yeah.
The Bielman spin.
Bielman.
She used to bring her leg. Is that the Bielman? Yeah. And
Your
she would
hat,
bring
yeah,
it
and you pull it forward.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you not remember that? I used to watch that figure skating, and when she came out, they called it the Bielman spin because it was her
Yeah.
move.
Eelman created it. Yeah.
That I can't even fathom how. Yeah. It's just-
One baby step at a time.
oh my goodness! But yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah.
Jill says boat with block was good for my core, which is good for my back.
Yeah, it is. It's very good because and then the thing is that with boat, right, we tend to want to round. So that's why I always try to get you guys to draw the shoulders back. Because when we get tired, we tend to go like this. So then our posture is like this. So it's like
Yeah.
trying to keep, and that
Yeah.
block that, like, you have to really engage everything. So,
Yes.
yeah.
The core.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was great. At one point, we were in that flow movement, and I thought, oh my goodness, like, but I can't remember where we were at. Oh, I can't remember now what we were doing, but I thought, okay, I'm really feeling. I almost turned on the fan.
Oh yeah, during the side plank.
Yeah.
I was sweating. I actually got up, turned on the AC.
Yeah. Well, I must have been the same, maybe around the same time, Josh.
We're coming, Josh, we're coming to do it at your place because we don't have AC.
Oh.
Well, we keep ours set at 25, which is really, really high relative to other people, but it's a really, really tiny air conditioner. So it's really more of a whole house dehumidifier. So as soon as the temperature drops below 25, then we just open the window.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Like
that's-
right now, it's below 25, so we've got the windows open, but there was a couple of rooms that didn't have the doors open, so they don't get, or they didn't have windows open, so they don't get the same type of circulation. So sometimes I'll turn on the fan just to circulate all in the air in the rooms. But it's a completely different experience than most people have an AC. They just set it at 22 or they set it at 68 or 20 degrees and it overcools the house. But for us, it's a more energy conscious approach, I guess. It's the dehumidification as opposed to chilling you like a freezer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's good. It's good.
Yeah.
Hi,
Jill,
my friend.
Well, you guys have a wonderful day.
yeah,
Me
you too.
too.
Jill said that she turns on the fan for her Saturday classes. LOL.
All right. Take care. We'll see you guys.
Great weekend.
All right.
Enjoy your days
Yep.
off, Diane.
Yeah,
Okay,
I'm
one-
Monday, Tuesday, so that's great.
Okay, I'm gonna resend the invitations or adjust the invitations because I forgot to record until halfway through. So I'm gonna rename the invite to record yoga and I'll set it for myself to be 5 minutes earlier. So it'll still show up at the correct time for you, but it'll show up 5 minutes earlier for me. But because I changed the name, it'll probably re-email you the invitation.
Okay.
So I know someone had to go back in time to find the original invite. I think that was Jill. So this way, at least it'll be in your most recent. It may be in your most recent email set.
Okay. Sounds
All right.
All right. Thanks,
All right.
guys.
No worries.
Okay.
Bye.
good. Bye.
Bye, guys.